What is up, Michigan Nation? It's your boy TJ Ronin. You can find me on the socials at TJ_Ronin. And Michigan has gone back to back with commitments, with tight end commits. And Steve Kasula just landed his next chess piece in the 2026 class in getting tight end Mason Bonner out of Colorado, has committed to Michigan. The Hayes Fawcett draft graphic has dropped. The 6'5", 215 tight end out of Denver, Colorado chooses the Wolverines over Minnesota, Texas Tech, and Miami. Mason Bonner says he is blessed and grateful for all the opportunities given him, and he is now home. Welcome to the Michigan Wolverines, Mason Bonner. Let's take a look at the player profile, see what we have here. What are the Wolverines getting? So right here we have Mason Bonner, 6'6". It says 200, but currently listed at 215 from the man himself. The composite does not have him ranked, and the reason for that is the other services have not put the rankings in yet for Mason Bonner. This is what you would call a little bit of an under-the-radar prospect. 247 does have him as an 88, which is a borderline 4-star. To be a 4-star, you need to be an 89 in the 247 services. So he's just on the cusp of a 4-star, high 3-star, low 4-star for them. We'll get into the highlight tape. This is a unique tight end. This isn't your typical tight end. We'll get into that. But let's take a look at the scouting report here. So Greg Biggins has him listed as a long, athletic, hybrid pass-catching tight end who currently plays receiver, but can grow into a tight end, estimated at 6'6", 200-pound frame, but is pretty lean and narrow, so eventual growth potential is a question. How much weight can he put on will be a determining factor in his positional home for long-term upside. Natural pass catcher who easily wins jump balls and 50-50 balls. Possesses a basketball background that is evident in the body control and spatial awareness, especially when competing versus smaller defensive backs. A smooth route runner, but lacks some of the burst and suddenness you'd like to see out of the receiver position. A fluid athlete and a smooth mover who is developing more twitch to stay at receiver or bulking to play tight end is what we'll be watching moving forward. Regardless, a power 4 prospect with physical tools that project well. What you're going to see here, and you know, if you guys watched my player breakdown of the Moose yesterday, Matt Ludwig was more of an inline but can go outside type of tight end. This is your Y type tight end. This is your type of tight end you split out wide. We'll take a look at his highlight tape. You'll see what I'm saying here. There's a reason why he plays wide receivers, because he's an athletic tight end, guys. This is honestly the ideal counter to what we landed yesterday in Matthew Ludwig. Even though Matthew Ludwig is a all-around type tight end, this is more of a pass-catching specialist. Let's take a look at the tape. So, and by the way, I want to just say shout out to this high school for the angle of the camera angle on this. It almost looks like a video game. I'm loving it. Let's take a, as you can see, he's on the outside here on the left side, completely destroys this corner off the line, gets by him with a nice swim move to get out of here, son. Gets separation, gets open, makes it easy for his quarterback. Now you see another play here, and believe it or not, this is not the same play. This is a different play. He's gonna run a slant here. Boom. What a first step, son. That's a good first step. Look at this first step. Boom, out. Look at the separation. Look at the gap. Yeah, he's going to be a mismatch for smaller DBs. There's no doubt about that. And what's good about Michigan, I know a lot of fans out there are like, well, you know, I don't want to just go after all the 4-star, the high level, and great hands catch here, by the way. Great. Let's do a replay there. Great hands catch, body control. Defender had no chance. No chance. If he boxes out on a smaller DB, it's game over. Right there. I would have liked to seen him obviously go up a little higher for the ball, but he knew what he was doing because the DB just does not have the ability to defend him on that play. Again, on the outside, Michigan could use him on the outside, but it's very likely Michigan will probably have more of a slot role or even a special special position for him, because this kid is an offensive weapon. Okay, we're not going to put him in line. He's not going to be blocking for one of our running backs. No. They're going to be using him in the passing game. This kid has a lot of upside. This is what we would consider a high ceiling prospect. There's no doubt that this kid could be a dynamic player. You could see it in his highlight tape. He does need more develop. He does need to be more polished. He knows that. Coaches know that. But the ball of clay is there. I mean, right here again, he goes up and gets the ball. The defender, unfortunately, you see this at the high school level. The defender really does not even turn his head around. kid has no chance. There's just such a size mismatch. There's no chance for this. So here you have him in the slot, and this is what I expect to see him at Michigan. Now, that was a poorly thrown ball, but he made the play. He adjusted, made the play, and got it. Look at the drone. This is hilarious. Look at where we are in 2025, guys. You guys see this drone? Look at this drone in the middle of the screen. Holy cow. What are we doing? World is changing, folks. That's so crazy to see a drone above the football field like that. I like it. Anyway, so here he is again on the outside. And he's just a big target for your wide receiver. He's a target that you can count on third downs. You know, he's the guy who's going to get the ball, even if it's contested, right? So, you know, considering we're at a point in Michigan football where we are really trying to become a more versatile offense, have more dynamic pass catchers, this is another one to the arsenal, right? This is another tool in the tool belt that Chip Lindsey will have that can do more with the playbook, give our quarterbacks, whether it be Bryce Underwood or Brady Smeagol, options in the offense that should be mismatches. Jesus. Look at this awareness. That's a nice play. That's just a headsy play. You know, obviously there's some luck involved. I mean, there's skill involved. I mean, there's a lot of skill involved. But I mean, he made the right play considering the circumstances. He got that ball. Good to see him fight for it too. I mean, he's another one that fights for extra yards. You'd love to see that. That's the mentality of Michigan. Never go down. Keep fighting. Every yard matters. Again, you do see a lot of outside tape. I could definitely see him. I mean, as wild as it sounds, if you put Matt Ludwig on the inside, right? You have him lined up on the inside, and then you put Mason Bonner in the slot or even on the outside, you're gonna have mismatches. Like defenses are gonna have trouble with that size on the field, right? There's only so many DBs with 6'2" frames out there. Typically, they're not out there. Most DBs are in the 5'10" to 5 or 6 foot range, maybe 6'1", but there's not a lot of guys who are 6'2". Well, we're talking about tight ends who are 6'5" and 6'6". You know, these are mismatch problems. Okay, then you want to put a linebacker on them. Well, a lot of linebackers, for example, Matt Ludwig, and this kid might be faster than Matt Ludwig. Probably is faster than Matt Ludwig, to be honest, but we'll see. Maybe they'll race one day. But linebackers are going to have a tough time in pass coverage, being able to defend these guys in coverage. There's a lot of challenge with that. Even if a linebacker is athletic, typically a lot of linebackers do not have the skill set to defend players of this type, which is why the tight end is having a revival in the NFL, because linebackers have a hard time against these type of players. This is what Michigan specializes on. This is why Michigan is considered potentially tight end U. We are consistently putting tight ends into the NFL. And you love to see these plays here, right? He's on the outside. What is he doing? And you know damn well this is what Sol Kasua. Look at him driving his guy downfield. You love to see these types of plays. I like having these. Like, he is obviously an offensive weapon, but the fact that he put, and maybe, whoever, look at the blocking downfield. Excellent. Just well done. Just excellent. You love to see that. And he's still going, son. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Look at this. All right, let's start this from the beginning. Boys, we were at the 50. This play starts at the 50. He's driving his guy past the 40, almost to the 45. We're playing to the whistle. The next guy can get it too. Get your ass on the ground, son. Look at that. Yeah. All right, we love that. Yeah, that's Michigan approved. Drives his guy to the sideline. That could be a flag. I think it was a flag. You see a flag get thrown here. But we like it. I like it anyways. I'll allow it. We approve. But shout out to Mason Bonner. Excited to have him in the class. Let's take a look at the class right now. So right now, Michigan's currently ranked 41st. If you saw our recruiting update on Tuesday, I said, and it's holding true, and I feel it will hold true, Michigan is about to go on a run here. We're seeing it now. Michigan's very aggressive. You can see they're very aggressive on the trail right now. We got all the coaches going to all the top prospects. We have official visits coming up end of May, into June, throughout June. I anticipate Michigan landing a bunch of kids here. This is just the beginning of the wave. Michigan went through, obviously, the 4-week dead period where they could not contact recruits. Well, now they're going 110 miles an hour, and it's just good to see. Obviously, we just landed Matthew Ludwig just the other day. Brady Smeagol recently committed, the cornerstone QB1 of the class. And then here we go, boys, the rest of the class. This is the composite, so Mason Bonner, again, is not ranked. If we do take it to the 247 ranking, which is where he is ranked, Mason Bonner is the 4th highest kid in the class. He's currently an 88, borderline 4-star. And that's just where it stands. So I'm interested to see what the services like On3 and Rivals and ESPN rank him, if ESPN will rank him, because I think ESPN only does top 300. Regardless, curious to see what they do with him there. But let's take a look at the depth chart now, and it's going to play a factor. If you guys watched my last player analysis on the Moose, Matthew Ludwig, you will know I talked about the placement of Matthew Ludwig. I put him at the F type tight end because he's more of an inline. And the reason being is because I knew Mason Bonner was on the radar, and we're going to put him at the Y. This is your slot tight end. This is the tight end that you put either on the outside or in the slot. You move him around a little bit more. Mason Bonner is that tight end. And you can kind of see what Michigan's doing here. Now, I fully anticipate we're going to start seeing some offensive linemen begin to fall. Potentially Malachi Lee, potentially Zayden Crimpin, potentially Marky Walbridge, Leo Delaney. Those are the top names right now for offensive line that Michigan's really on. I had somebody ask me, what about Felix, Oho or Ojo, however you pronounce his name. It just appears that he's not as high on Michigan, or Michigan is not as high on him. There does appear to be a bucket of players, like I mentioned, Malachi Lee, Marky Walbridge, and Zayden Crimpin, as well as Leno Delaney. Those 4, and we already have Bear McWhirter in the class. Those 4 appear to be the top targets right now for Michigan. We'll see if they land them. There is word that they're looking for 4 offensive linemen for this class. It's potential to get to 5. You never know, but I think they might land at 4. But, we'll kind of see how the class shakes out here. Michigan is just getting started, guys. We are at 7 commits right now. This class will probably be around the 25 number, anywhere from like 22 to 27. It just depends on how it shakes out. But Michigan is now on the move. Recruiting is now something you want to pay attention to going forward. Michigan is definitely moving at a faster pace. And now that we are getting closer and closer to December signing day, then I think, we're only going to see things continually pick up, and Michigan's not playing around right now. So shout out to Michigan. Good job, Steve Kasula. You are killing it on the trail right now. Shout out to him. And let's see how Michigan wraps up the 2026 class. But let's especially take close attention to these official visits that are coming up. All of your recruiting updates, stay tuned to Michigan at the Voice of College Football, our Tuesday show with myself and John Diadamo, Michigan Wolverines live at 8 p.m. And then we have the Michigan Call-In show Thursday, 8 p.m. with myself and Johnny Olden, where the heat is definitely put on the air, and we have our debates. We have our discussions. We had a great debate last week regarding Sherrone Moore, and does he deserve an extension? Does he not? The community went nuts over that one. That was a good one. We have a big debate next Thursday. It's a food debate. I won't reveal it here. Stay tuned Thursday. Check it out. But as you guys know, it is always go blue.